You've been to a lot of different countries. Tell me one of your top five experiences.
The first thing that comes to mind is the most recent one. I actually just posted a whole series about it on my Instagram. At the end of 2024, I was in the Philippines and I did the 3 day, supposed to be 2 night boat expedition in Palawan. I went from El Nido to Coron. And essentially, you're on this boat during the day, going snorkeling, you're having fun in the water with this group of people and eating on the boat. And it's taking you to all these secluded islands. The Philippines is stunning. I don't know if you've been there yet, but that was, oh my gosh, okay, this has to be on your list.
It's been on my list, and I just always get stuck in like Bali and Thailand.
You do have to plan a trip in the Philippines more than you can just wing it in Thailand and Bali. But I would say those beaches were the most beautiful ones that I've seen. They're better because Thailand is obviously really touristy now. A lot of people go there, and I think the Philippines is not as packed. But yeah, that boat expedition is really popular and really common. A lot of people told me to do it. We ended up getting stuck in the ocean during a storm, and so we got extended a day, and we were sleeping in huts. It's a very rustic, bare bones experience. Sometimes there's no showers, it's just like buckets of water. And I wanted to do this to challenge myself out of my comfort zone and to prove to myself that I can do hard things. Because I also am someone that gets seasick. And I, at the time, was feeling really insecure about my body because in 2024, it changed a lot. You know, with traveling, I had to let go of my workout routine and that body that I had worked for so long. Like that was hard for me to let go of, but I knew that this was true freedom for me as well, traveling. So I've had to come to terms with how my body has changed. And so being on this boat and in a bikini all the time around new people was so scary for me. And I have past trauma with my weight because I used to be really overweight. I had a whole weight loss journey back in like 2017. And growing up, it was my biggest insecurity. And I think to this day, it's still one of the biggest insecurities. And that's why this experience was the most memorable for me. It was life-changing because almost dying on that boat, it actually hit me. Like it made me realize, oh my God, these things that I worry about are so insignificant when it comes to your physical safety. And in that moment when we were stuck in the ocean and the waves were going crazy and I was feeling nauseous and I was freezing and I actually thought maybe the boat might sink, it just was such a good reminder for me to stop caring so much about all these little things and just go for what I want and don't let these things hold me back. And that was it was literally Christmas Eve that we got to land and made it out alive. So it was a great experience. And I'm not saying this to scare anybody. That rarely happens. It was just, I guess, bad luck. But also in the end, I would do it all over again for what I experienced. The life lessons I gained from that, that's how I know 2025 is going to be my year. I feel like I'm ready. I think near-death experiences teach you a lot.
I think all us travelers have some similar experiences for sure. Like there's a couple that come to mind that are just like, real reminders that like, a lot of stuff doesn't matter, and you get in a different space, and you do have some near misses sometimes, but overall the experience is it's very generally very safe and controlled, but you do get to get that like paradigm shift when you have some experiences that might just not go like you expected them to.
I like how you said that, paradigm shift. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, is there any one place that comes to mind for you that you feel is underrated?
Again, the first thing that came to mind for me now is Da Nang in Vietnam. Okay. That is the city that I'm actually going to go live in for 3 months, where I focus on, because I want to have a 10-week program running during that time. And I want to be put somewhere so I can focus on it and focus on my clients that I'm working with. I'm so excited to become this version of me, and I'm really dedicating myself to it. And Da Nang was the first city I went to in Vietnam last year in February. And I just instantly felt at home. Like, it has a lot of the components of a city that make me feel like it's a place that I want to live in. It has easy access to anything you could need across the bridge. It's like the whole city. And just quality services too, like any like lashes, nails, like those kinds of things. In Vietnam, it's so affordable and so high quality. And the food is amazing. And then across the bridge, there's a beach And that's actually the side that I was staying on last time too. And it's becoming, or it already is, a really popular digital nomad hub. And it's not as touristy as places like Bali. That I still feel like it's a little underrated. I think Vietnam is one of those sleeper countries. People don't realize how amazing it is until they go. But the price point is way cheaper. The quality, like I said, is very high. And there is community there and there is a beach. And yeah, I'm super excited to go back there. The weather being nice as well. And because it's a digital nomad hub too, and a lot of expats go there and live there, there's a lot of Western food. So I think for someone like me coming from the West, it helps me feel that balance between both worlds. Yeah, and I can't wait to go back.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. I spent 6 weeks in Vietnam, and it's like no other place I've ever been, and it's one of the most least expensive. I've not been to Da Nang since it's become a digital nomad hotspot, so I'm curious to see what it's like now. But yeah, Vietnam is a very cool place. Tell me, what's one of the best ways to make friends in a new city for you?
I love this question. I also started making videos about it. One of the best ways that I've made friends is through social media, through my Instagram. A lot of people have found me from there. And because I'm always posting, I do daily photo dumps and I tag the location. So I think a lot of people who are traveling end up coming across me, or just random reels that reach their feed. And so I have made a lot of good friends just through messaging, and then we end up voice noting or meeting up in a city that we're also both going to be in. And I found that to be the best way so far. I love it because off the bat, I already have a connection with someone. I already know about them because I see their social media. And usually it's other content creators or people that are traveling similar to me. So I already have that mutual, like, common interest. And it's so much nicer than going into a hostel and like having to filter out the people to see who is your people. Obviously, I get lucky sometimes too. I still recommend hostels. That's another way that I've met so many new friends and made great connections. So I would say social media is number one, and then two, hostels.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've stayed in hundreds of hostels over the years. I feel like I've aged myself out of them now because I'll be 40 soon, but the scene is a little bit different. When I was a younger backpacker, like, best way by far to meet people and just make those instant connections. And it's so affordable too. And even a lot of them are building in like co-working spaces and stuff into the hostels now. So you have that environment of both, the hostel living and the younger crowd and the fun that goes along with that. But then you can also like go into the office space and have good internet and get work done. So it's a nice change, I think.
That's something I'm going to be gravitating more towards now that I'm focusing more on my entrepreneurial journey.
Awesome. Have you ever turned a travel experience into a business opportunity?
So actually, I met up with someone in Bangkok that I connected with on Instagram. So he found me because when I was in Koh Tao last year, he told me he actually checked the location tag, and as I posted there, he saw me. And since then, we've been following each other because he has an online business and he posts content. And over time, we've just been watching each other's lives and supporting each other's content. And then this year, like a month ago, we met up in Thailand. And because we've been connected this long, it was like instantly like we already knew each other. And he was saying, you should do a group trip. I could totally see you leading a group trip because he does them. Which, by the way, his name's Emilio Ramos. I'm going to give him a shout out. If you want to do a group trip in Thailand, he does a bunch of those. And my first reaction was, no, I'm like a one-on-one person. I want to do one-on-one coaching. And like him and I were hanging out one-on-one. Like, I'm like, that's too much for me. But he helped me change my mindset on it. And he was saying, no, you don't have to do a big group. And you end up connecting with every individual one-on-one during your time on the trip because it's a long time together. And by the end of our conversation, I was actually so energized by this idea of doing a group trip because I think a lot of people would see value in it and would want to travel with me. I've learned so much about how to solo travel, but I understand the fears that come with it. And also as a female, there's a lot of safety concerns, definitely. And so this idea came to me, this business opportunity. I think I want to lead a group trip. Currently, I'm envisioning in the fall when I go to Europe again. I love Spain. And I could do like a 2-week girls trip to Spain. and I want to keep it small, like me and 3 girls. So I am gonna put feelers out there on here. If anyone is interested, reach out to me. I'm also gonna talk about it on my Instagram. And I think if there's enough interest and I have people that want to do that with me, I just think it's a good segue for people that have never solo traveled before or are scared to go abroad and stay in hostels. So it's a good way that you can have that experience. And I'm going to make sure I plan out this trip where we have time to do solo activities. And I want to help them also equip them with ways to do it on their own next time and give them tips on like how you can follow your own intuition while you're solo traveling too.
I love it. Yeah. If you're interested in solo travel and you want to like have the crash course or, kind of go in slow, like solo, but not like, I think that's going to be a great opportunity for you. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this episode useful, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. You can hear all the full episodes of Digital Nomad Nation wherever you listen to podcasts. Drop your key takeaway in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And remember, you're only one bold decision away from a life full of freedom.